Hello there, fairy tale lovers. It's me, Scarlet Cole. Today, I'm here to talk about the Kingdom Confidential for Castiel, or season number 3 in the Kingdom of Fairytales. As you can see, I took this video outside, so I've got rocking some faux fur and a little bit of wilderness just to celebrate the fact that this season has to deal with wolves. And if you listen closely, there might be some domesticated wolves around here that might start howling for you, but hopefully they will keep it down until I'm finished. All right, so hopefully you've been reading along because we're already in the 3rd week of the 3rd season of Kingdom of Fairytales. And this has been a really fun one because it's blending our fairy tale worlds with a little bit of paranormal by getting into werewolves. Yes, that's right. We are talking about werewolves, which is super fun for me because I do love paranormal creatures. So I was very excited to be doing the Kingdom Confidential for this. So if you guys want to sit back, grab your tea or your coffee or whatever. I had to go with the travel mug today, being a little bit colder outside. You might be able to see peaks of snow. I'm up here in Canada, where we do have a lot of wolves. I grew up in northern Manitoba, where they have a ton of wolves, and I have actually seen them in my backyard. So if you haven't had the chance to see a wolf in person, they are quite a majestic animal. However, this one is not about me. This is about B. Kristen McMichael and her 4 books in season 3. So let's get started. So the first secret about the Castiel season and King of Wolves is that Elder, where the story takes place, is a very, very isolated country. And it was very difficult for B. Kristen McMichael to write that sort of thing because she didn't have all of the advantages that some of the other authors did in terms of technology and how the world works. Because everything is so isolated, everything tended to be very, very rustic. So she didn't have a lot of things to work with. That said, there isn't a huge amount of technology in a lot of the other places. I know when I was writing, things would have been a whole lot easier if my characters could have picked up a cell phone or texted their friend. But when you have that limited amount of technology in all of the other fairy tale countries, then when you have even less than that, that creates a huge amount of challenge. You have to rely a lot on the characters and a lot on the land to be able to write that story and write it effectively. I think she did an amazing job, and some of the scenery and imagery that she builds in these books is absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't had a chance to read them yet, I suggest that you pick them up. But I can see where this would be a huge problem, and she did find it very difficult to write these books for that reason. The second secret is that when she realized she was going to have to deal with such an immense amount of isolation, she figured she would take it to a total extreme. There are entire communities within Elder that don't interact with each other. They don't converse. They don't have any sort of interaction whatsoever, which yet again created another challenge for her, but made that a very interesting and different world compared to some of the other countries that are out there. A lot of the other fairy tale worlds will incorporate a lot of the other worlds that are out there and deal in trade and all those sorts of things. But the more you isolate these characters, the more difficult it is because it has to build its entire world within itself. So I think she did a fantastic job. And if you think she did a fantastic job, maybe you can leave some comments below for her that she can read about what a fantastic job she did. Secret number 3. This is the first time that B. Kristen McMichael has ever written in a male POV. She's written over 20 books already, but obviously, from what she's saying, she's never written a male POV before. However, she did say that this wasn't a huge shock for her, as she does have 2 brothers, and most of the neighborhood where she grew up was all boys. As she was growing up, she spent a lot of time running through the woods and building tree forts, which she pulled from when she was writing to get the feeling of Elder and how the country and how the characters would act and how they would look and how things would work out. See, you never know when your favorite childhood memories are going to come back and help you out. Speaking of trees, when B. Kristen was writing these books, she imagined that the tree people of Elder would be a cross between Swiss Family Robinson living in like an Ewok village. If anybody's seen Star Wars, which I'm sure a couple people out there probably have, Ewoks were one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite lands that they explored in that as well. Plus, some of you have probably read Swiss Family Robinson or maybe seen the old Disney movie. So you can definitely see where her comparisons between those tree people and those references comes from. So it's always exciting to see where the inspiration is for some things, and maybe you'll be able to see some little Easter eggs or tidbits in what she's written and relate them back to the things that you remember from those movies. And the fifth secret is that B. Kristen has never written about werewolves before. She's a huge paranormal writer, however, she has never ventured into the world of werewolves. She finds this very odd, considering if you ever get into the vampire versus werewolf debate, which I'm sure we all have, she would pick werewolves every single day of the week. So it was kind of an exciting thing for her to be able to write this character. She did mention that she's never been a huge Little Red Riding Hood fan, but once she integrated the werewolves with the Little Red Riding Hood concept, it totally came together for her, and it was a whole lot more exciting than she had anticipated. All right, so that's all I have for today, but join me next week when we say goodbye to Castiel and welcome to Dion. That one will be a little bit different and hopefully a little bit warmer than the snow that I have going on here, as this one will deal with the Kingdom of Florists and all of the wonderful flowers and greenery that grow there. But enough about that. We will talk about that more next week. As for right now, make sure you're picking up the fourth and final book in Castiel's season on Wednesday to finish out season 3. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope you're enjoying this series so far. If you are, please leave a comment below and we would love to hear from you. If you have any guesses on what some of the upcoming seasons are going to be about, we'd love to hear that from you as well. Anything you would like to say, you can always put it in the comments and we will definitely get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Scarlett Cole, and I will see you next week.